That is true, actually. So no, I wonder if that's another reason why they wanted to do that. Make it so Alan actually had to continue to train, but also when his inevitable death happened, it would actually really reinforce just how insane it is that someone that strong ended up dead. Like how much they clearly did not value him as a person. Wait, are they twerking on us? Fucking little ass shake from the ant. I was gonna say, how many fucking days is that? Wait, ooh, oh. I feel like I downloaded the wrong episode of Hell Mode this week. What's going on here? So it's been 2 months of farming ants with nothing to really show for it other than XP. Jesus Christ, he's losing it, guys. Oh, that's cool to see how the book, like, continues to map it out like a video game. Know how, like, Voltorb and shit in Pokemon can use self-destruct? We need a creature in our arsenal that can basically just serve as the bomber. Very cool to see how this continued to feel like a video game rather than just a basic-ass video game menu like a lot of shows. Wow, that was actually easier than I was expecting. I guess the challenge comes from being able to locate her rather than the actual fight itself. Wait, we're getting kidnapped? Oh, that's why they said we would regret it. So rather than it just being a straight up like pirate ship that we're on, we're probably on a normal political blimp, right? So that means we just have to deal with the thugs rather than the entire ship. That's gotta be freaky though, just being a normal person and like wondering why the fuck that just randomly popped up. God damn, I love this show. Of course, those are just some of the highlights though. You like his full live reaction is over on my Patreon, but let's jump into it. Hell Mode has been on a roll. Emotional rolls. But the thing is I've been highlighting this constantly. I think other than a show like, say, Shangri-La Frontier, not an isekai, just characters playing video games. But that is like the only other show that immediately comes to mind that I'm like, damn, that is how it feels playing a video game. In that case, an MMORPG. But the way I've been explaining Hell Mode is it feels like playing a JRPG. And I think this latest episode really highlights the fear that so many gamers go through. In this case, our main character, Alan, he's a summoner, right? So he has a little book of different creatures and objects that he can summon at a moment's notice. The issue he's struggling with is he's on top of a mountain trying to get to an ant queen. And everyone has played at least one video game, unless you're just like a more casual gamer. I'm not trying to insult you, but like if you're a hardcore gamer, have played a decent amount, there's always at least that one part in a game that no matter how hard you push through, it's endless, you're missing something, it's this. It's this reaction, and this is what I fucking love about this show, is that it actually feels like a goddamn video game. Because here's the thing, right? The whole premise of this show is that bro was looking for the hardest of games. I want something that's going to make me struggle. Puts in some information online, sucked into a world. Whether or not it's an actual video game, whether or not it's just a goddess making a world feel like a video game for him, whatever. It does still function like playing a video game, and it's on hardcore difficulty. It's always ranged in different ways on what makes it hardcore for him. In the early stages, it took him years to get to a single level up. Now that's no longer happening, but you can see here, this took 2 months. 2 months of real life. It's insane. The fact that he had to live and breathe on these mountains day after day, hunting non-stop ants, was insane. I love this, man. It's that type of grind that you know damn well you would either just give up on a video game or you would just like come back when you're just completely overpowered. In this case, he doesn't really have that luxury because these are mines that in this world they're trying to mine for mithril, because now that it's opened back up to his kingdom side, you know, they need to be able to figure this out. But an ant queen who can just endlessly respawn hundreds of ants at a moment's notice, how are you going to do it? You can't just blindly walk through a maze. Like, we literally see in this episode, it's actually kind of insane. Like, this is the labyrinth. So you start down here, and you can see all the pathways. It's actually pretty ridiculous. So imagine being a normal person in this world. Yeah, no one's ever going to clear something like this. For him, it's just an endless loop of grinding bullshit. And I thought they did a really solid job at really making us understand the hell mode he was going through in this case. And throughout covering this show, we don't always do it weekly on YouTube, right? But we always come back every couple of weeks, usually on average. People will argue it's not really hell mode. He's so powerful, but it's like, no, there's always these varying things that feel so grindy that, yeah, often with video game difficulty, it's like increasing the sponginess of damage that enemies will deal to you, deal to them, vice versa, right? But like, there's so many little nuances that just the more I see about how this system works, the more I actually feel like this is another show written by someone who actually enjoys video games. And in doing so, like, I don't think you need to like be a hardcore gamer to enjoy this show, but I think at the end of the day, this show really understands gamer mindsets and game mechanics better than most shows that try to label themselves, we're a video game. Like most, like I got a comment, I think it might have been on the last video I did for this or the video before. It was like, I haven't seen a whole lot of shows, but the ones I have seen that are like video game focused, they seem to do it well. The thing is most of these shows, they have a video game menu for their stat screen. That's about as far as video games they go with this. I really think this is like one of the best video game focused isekai series we've had in years, and it's really exceptional for how they do the mechanics. Now, in the last episode we did get an emotional death. So her brother ends up dying, because in this world, there's a really interesting system. Now, our main character comes from a poor family, and anyone who's born poor in this world hopes that they can be gifted special abilities so that they can have a purpose in life, probably make money, blah, blah, blah. But for the rich people in this world, that's actually considered a curse because you have to do your noble's duty. What ended up happening, her brother filled his noble's duty. Despite being so strong, our main character has never been able to beat her brother in battle. Not a single time, no matter how strong he's gotten. And her brother still ended up dead. This is a curse. She has every right to want to run away from this, but she also wants to fulfill her noble duty. When she turns, I think it's the age of 12, you start getting, progress down certain quests and things like that. This is a very complex world that at face value just looks like your run-of-the-mill B-tier, C-tier show of the season, fantasy bullshit, blah, blah, blah. But I think they've done a really good job at making me care about so much in this show. And I think, her brother wasn't a character that I was like, oh my god, this is like my best boy. But I was like, I don't want things to happen to him. He seemed like someone who was honorable. The day before, or like the day he was leaving on his next mission, he seemed like he was thinking he wasn't coming back home. And yeah, we understand why. The fact that they power scaled in this way too is really interesting. We know how strong our boy is, but he's not indestructible. He's actually had to run away from bosses before. Like, this isn't an isekai that just says, oh, he's always going to do everything perfectly. The fact that the brother of this girl always beat him, and he still ended up dead on these missions. This is a show that I think lives up to its name, Hell Mode. And I've argued a lot with people over the weeks. No, it's not as Hell Mode as he makes it out to be. But yeah, I think it is. I mean, we got kidnapped because this douchebag. So the way the whole mining system works is that, like, for a century, usually at a time, a dragon blocks one side of the mountain, so then one side profits. And as soon as the dragon has left and now we're profiting, there's now this thing, we're going to split the mine equally. You know damn well that when that dragon comes back and is blocking our side, they wouldn't uphold that contract. So now they've kidnapped us, and it's going to be interesting because we're in the sky. Thankfully, it's not like we're in the sky and it's nothing but bandits. It's seemingly like a passenger flight. So we just have to kind of deal with the bullshit at hand, and most likely we'll be okay. But yeah, I'm liking this show. I'm liking this show a lot. We got, I think, 1 episode left. I think it's 12 episodes total. I'm liking it a lot. I would gladly watch a season 2. It's fucking awesome, and I really do think this show is to JRPGs the same way Shangri-La Frontier is to MMORPGs. Fucking wonderful. But you can let me know your thoughts either on last week's episode, Big Emotional Death, or this latest one with grinding out ants, and goddamn, every gamer can relate to that bullshit, I'm sure. Thoughts down below, drop a like, share, support, subscribing, that bell, and Patreon, you know it. Full live reactions do live over there, and other exclusives, because I gotta give those video shouts to my patrons, because they make it all possible over here on YouTube. Alrighty, so today we got Braun P, Ike O, Clash King, Zero, Arch Lurker, Wyack Wilkin, Sarah Bree, and we also have Soggy Toast. I appreciate the support. Please take care. Have a good one.